In this case is a collection of lizards and all sorts of reptiles. People collect a lot of unusual things. Well, tonight we're going to visit Milton Metz at home. Milton's one of Louisville's best-known personalities on television and radio, and probably a lot of you have heard about his hobby. His hobby, he says, keeps him from taking himself and life too seriously. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous hats of Milton Metz. How did you start a hat collection?
Well, you mean what's a grown man?
What's a grown man like you, a responsible citizen?
Well, I get great fun out of it. It's you know, when you get too stuffy and serious, you put on a silly hat from your collection, and even the grimmest person who visits you is going to break into a laugh. Say, you know, that crazy Metz or something. It's fun. It's just great fun to do, and it doesn't cost much. They had to put that in, and so many of my friends have been good about bringing hats back from overseas, because, you know, they could put booze or perfume or something in there, and they're bringing back, this is heavy, this is brass. You know, it's probably worth a few bucks if I melt it down. But I think it's sort of a ceremonial hat for a French officer of maybe World War I. Very uncomfortable, but home. So I called the Metropolitan Opera when I was in New York, and I said, you know, I'm Milton Metz, and could I come over? And the guy said, sure, come over to the property, I'll introduce you to the property manager. Now, we went down, and this is the old Metropolitan Opera House. Down in the catacombs, I expect to see Lon Chaney or Charles Lawton there, because there were cobwebs, and there were these famous opera stars all around. It was really kind of exciting, because they were rehearsing Don Giovanni, a great opera. And went down about 3 basements, and there's dust and cobwebs, and this guy reaches into this beat-up helmet, see? I suppose you want me to put it on.
Would you? Come on.
Anyway, and he reaches out, he says, I can't tell you how many Wagnerian operas this thing was in, right? See? And it looked like I'm taking leave of my senses, right? But I love it. So, you know, you can't keep a straight face when you're wearing this.
Do you really wear these? Do you put these things on?
Oh, yeah. Mostly we do it sometimes when we have a little friendly poker game, and some of the guys from the station and some of my friends come over, and we play it, or to clown around the house, or I'll greet somebody at the door. You know, not all the time, but just enough. It's just a harmless, very funny, inexpensive hobby. Now, for instance, this one, this is interesting. This is a Padres hat. Obviously, it's not my religion, but I love it, and I've been told that it's not sacrilegious for Mets to wear it. This is sort of a Monsignor's or a Padres hat. This is, I've always wanted this one. This is sort of a campaigner's hat. You know, either a drill sergeant, and I feel very, when I want to call the family to order, yes, that's right. This is sort of, who was the guy who used to do those kid shows on TV? Pinky Lee. Pinky Lee. Didn't he used to wear a hat?
Just like that.
Something like that. Maybe I could get started again.
There's a whole new
this is, and you'll see the sense of it. This is before plastic, of course, and it has the hat owner's name in there, Andres Romanillos. This is a motorcyclist's safety helmet in Spain, Spanish.
Do you know how old it is?
No, I have no idea. But here's a guy with a head smaller than mine, which is pretty hard to find. But I really like it. And if I get, now some people may be a little stuffy or a little dignified, and they, you know, they're not comfortable putting hats on. But some people get the nonsense of it right away. And this hat just makes you laugh. I've always liked this hat. It just looks silly.
Buster Keaton.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it looks like that. And now this was sent in by somebody heard me talking about it, and she apologized because it's got a little cut in the crown. But you don't see brown derbies anymore. Who was it used to? Al Smith used to wear the brown derby. Remember, he ran against Herbert Hoover for president.
I don't remember.
I don't either. She's doing a number on me. Well, I read about it too. Anyway, he used to wear a brown derby, and then there's the famous Brown Derby restaurant. Well, now that one, and this is like back in the days of Gunga Din. And invariably when you give this to people, they put it on wrong. They put it on this way. And it looks all right. But if you knew, so you used to wear it in the desert sands in Rudyard Kipling's time. But this was to protect the back of your neck from the hot sun. So this was the way to wear it. Now, you see it like, I think, some Bermuda officers wear it. All of a sudden, I feel like talking with an English accent when I have this. You know, you feel like like doing it.
Do you have any requirements or any rules you go by?
Well, generally they have to be legitimate hats, like somebody from a workman's hat or a policeman's hat, somebody, you know, not a fancy hat, you know, not that was made by a designer, but one that real people wear or could have worn. I'm thinking about, for instance, this is my latest one, is a World War I doughboy's helmet. And so this is a real legitimate hat. This was where so many brave Americans lost their lives. And I don't know anything about this, but if this hat could talk, it could have been in the Ardennes, it could have been anywhere. And it's kind of a historical hat. It's so cumbersome, Angie, you wonder how they
And it
could have
moves
been
back
in
and forth,
combat.
too.
Yes, and it's very heavy.
Do you have any advice for people out there who want to start a hat collection? And you've been experienced 15 years now.
Yeah, be kind to your hats and they'll be kind to you. Or just do it if you have fun with it. You know, a lot of, they collect all kinds of things, anything from Billy beer cans to, you know, coins. But I think what I like about this is that that somebody once wore these or could wear them in the pursuit of some honest, respectable work, whether it was a priest, whether it was a soldier, or whether it was, here's this one here, this is a matador's hat, you know, and that some poor devil was out there, you know, going after some poor bull.
Olé, olé.
Yeah.
Now that's a good one for you.
Sure. And when, you know, whenever I want to attest the tenderness of a chicken or a steak, I put this on.
Milt says there's one hat he'd really love to have. You know those straw hats with the ribbons hanging down that the gondoliers wear in Venice? Well, Milt, the next time I find myself in Venice, I'll be happy to pick one up for you.